Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report, show number 416 for Thursday, February 26th. Ooh. Scott Hammer, Ron Miller coming at you live on Facebook, YouTube, and possibly Twitch.
2 weeks will be in the... our show will be 419.
Yes, I guess it will. For those of you outside of Toledo, Ohio, Northwest Ohio area, that's the area code for here.
One of them.
Yeah, one of them.
Right. The other one is...
The first one.
Yeah, the original.
The original one. When they started running out of numbers, that's when they did 567, because everybody had a pager. They thought they were going to run out of numbers. Now, not really a thing, because people gave up their home phones for the cell phones.
Yeah.
So I think there's plenty of numbers. Anyways, that's a whole nother story for another time. We're coming at you live from the Dominator Race Products Studios. Tonight on the show, we're going to be talking about the history of New Bremen Speedway. I did a lot of learning this week about that place.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It was a neat track.
It's got some interesting history. Half mile started off as dirt, went back to, went to asphalt, then went back to dirt. Then was sold, and
I think it went back to dirt when Earl bought it, right?
Yeah. Earl tore up the asphalt there, but it had ARCA, hosted USAC, a lot of big names. AJ Foyt, Tom Sneva, Gary Bettenhausen. I saw Mario Andretti had raced there. So holy cow! ARCA races. I think I already mentioned that.
USAC's stock cars.
A lot of people died there too. A lot of racers. There was like a whole street there in the 50s and 60s where it was like a little bit crazy. I don't know how they stayed in business.
Racing was dangerous in
the
50s,
the safety stuff was probably a little more lax back then, I'm thinking. But,
safety stuff was for sissies.
Yeah. We got the official, unofficial track historian, Dave Kramer, not to be confused with our Dave Kemmer, Dave Kramer, who is a New Bremen Village resident, I do believe. And, He's got quite a collection of collectibles from the track.
Really?
He's shared a whole bunch of photos with us. So if you're listening to us on the on Spotify or I guess you can watch us on Spotify too. If you're listening to us on some other platform that doesn't have video, you might want to check out the video version of this, because we're going to share a bunch of old photos that he shared with us as well.
Right.
So stick around for that. We got the How Many pizza giveaway for the pizza place formerly known as Big D's Pizza, plus the Ottawa Lake Bull Ring, and our very last Speedy sponsor sticker will be thrown in for that winner.
But we still have
the Ottawa Lake. I don't have the little...
I was on the wrong camera.
Dave Kramer, he has entered the studio. All right, so we'll be speaking with Dave here in just a little bit as he gets set up. But did you want to show that sticker? I'll put your camera on.
I can.
There you go. There's your Ottawa. There you go.
It's there.
Yeah. It's harder than it looks putting things in front of the camera.
Oh, it is.
Well, mine's easier because it's like right there, except for everything's backwards. But if you're looking for a wedding or an event DJ you can trust, Magic Moment Entertainment has you covered with decades of experience. Ron Burt delivers smooth planning, professional grade sound and lighting, and an unforgettable experience for your big day. Mention the Hammer Down Racing Report, save $100 off your reception DJ service. There are no hidden fees, no mileage charges, no lighting fees, full liability coverage always included. He serves the entire states of Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. Magic Moment Entertainment is ready to make your event truly magical. Call 419-594-2261 or find them on Facebook under Magic Moment Entertainment or Ohio Sports Blitz. And if you're in need of car parts, repairs, or a full-on build, whether it's a race car, classic cruiser, or just a broken bolt that won't budge, Ron Miller Race Cars in Lambertville, Michigan has the tools, talent, and experience to get you back on track. He's got as many years of experience, more than twice as many years of experience than New Bremen Speedway has been around.
Really?
Yeah.
That's frightening.
A lot more. It's tons. Ron's crew can handle it all: bodywork, transmission, and chassis repair, custom build, safety gear, and performance parts. Looking for a St. Patrick's Day gift for the racer or car enthusiast in your life? Consider Ron Miller Race Cars gift certificates.
Yeah.
Give Ron a call today, 734-856-7223, and see why racers and car lovers alike trust Ron Miller Race Cars, driven by experience, built for performance. Oakshade Raceway, Dominator Race projects. products. Dibbin Motorsports and DCR Graphics, other sponsors of the show tonight. Before we get to our special guest, the historian, or actually, as the way it is on my sheet here, he is Dave Kramer, the new Bremen Speedway guy.
Okay.
But he's put together quite a history there. I'm looking forward to talk to him, especially this big riot thing. I got a whole page on just this riot that happened there.
Really?
Yeah. It's juicy.
I must have missed that one.
That was a little bit before your time, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that was, 1931? Yeah, I believe that was last race of the 31 season had some issues.
Oh, my, yeah.
I was just reading and thinking,
I just barely missed it, Scott.
There's some things in it that kind of remind me of things that happened today, minus the riot part, but it'll be interesting there. Let's check out our racing roundup. Got some racing action to cover from this past weekend.
If you can find it.
I can. It's right there.
Racing Roundup.
Let's go back. I don't want to make myself big. Let's do this. All right. Premier Speedway down in Australia. We got about 4 races happened down there. Australian Super Sedan Championship Friday was Jake Bradley taking the win in the Junior Sedan. Saturday, Joel Berkeley, your Super Sedans winner, and Brad Wicks taking the win in the Modified Sedans. At Tires and More Esperance Speedway on Friday night, Warren Oldfield picking up the LMRWA Pro Dirt Late Model feature event. Bunbury Speedway on Saturday, West Coast Stabilizer Sprint Car Series. Michael Keane getting the 360 LS Sprint Car win. Matthew Iwanow, your wingless sprint winner, and Matt Brown getting the win in the Formula 500s. Kalgoorlie Speedway on Saturday was Bo Oldfield. I wonder if that's another Oldfield.
Oh, it is, and that was his
another
first,
related.
That was his first ever feature win
In the LMRWA. Late Model Racing Western Australia Pro Dirt Late Models.
That's
First
it.
win for him?
Yes.
Wow. Well, congrats. How many Oldfields racing down there?
I believe he's number 4.
Number 4. Not to be confused with our Barney Oldfield for all the history buffs.
But we don't know
area.
that.
We don't know that. They could be related. Good day, Mike.
Could be old news.
Where was I? High Tech Oil Speedway Toowoomba, final racing event from down under for tonight's racing roundup. Sunday, the Dondex Ultimate Pink Night.
Okay.
Lachlan McHugh getting the win in the QSS Ultimate Sprint Cars. Harry Stewart, your speed car winner, and Sighton Young, your V8 Dirt Modified winner. A little closer to home here, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series getting things going with the Winter Nationals at Alltech Raceway last weekend. Brandon Shepard getting the win last Thursday. Friday it was Devin Moran, and Saturday Hudson O'Neill, your winner. And then Winter Nationals moving over to Ocala Speedway starting Tuesday night. Devin Moran getting the win on Tuesday. Wednesday it was Brandon Shepard last night. And did you watch any of that?
I did not.
You need to
Find it?
No, you need to find what Kyle Bronson, he was leading, and then something happened. I'm not sure, something happened just before there was some contact with Brandon Shepard,
right,
or not. But anyways, that part's not important. The part you want to hear is the interview after he's in the infield of what happened. About it could be raining something, and something else will hit him in the head. You definitely need to find that out.
Oh, okay.
Look that up.
It's a quote that I could use sometime.
I would have used it on the show, but I'm not going to say it, and I couldn't find a clip of it anywhere, probably because of the language used, but it cracked up James Hessick and DJ quite a bit. I think they talked about it on the ride home, too. But it was probably the funniest thing I've seen in quite some time. Me and the girlfriend were watching, and we laughed quite a bit when he said that.
She thought it was funny.
It was the
too?
best thing. Yes.
Okay.
If I'm going to use that response if something like that ever happens to me and somebody shoves a microphone in front of my face.
Okay.
I'll tell you about it afterwards. But anyway, that continues on at Ocala tonight, and we'll talk more about that.
Maybe somebody has a clip and they could call
the Hammer Down hotline and leave it there. There you go. What's that number?
419-318-3081.
Is it really? How do you remember that?
Scott, come on. We talk about it every week.
You're right. I have so many numbers in my head. I don't remember phone numbers anymore. I just put it in my phone and I'm done with it. What else we had? The World of Outlaws Late Model Series in action. The Swamp Cabbage 100 at Hendry County Motorsports Park, going head-to-head with the Lucas Oil Late Model Series this past weekend. Friday night, Bobby Pierce getting the win, and Saturday was Nick Hoffman getting the win. NASCAR action, the Craftsman Truck Series, the Freight 208 at Echo Park Speedway, Kyle Busch getting the win there. And then later on Saturday, the Bennett 250 for the O'Reilly Series, Sheldon Creed.
Kyle Busch doesn't seem to want to let anybody win
in the trucks.
Races. Yeah.
Well, and it seems like Tyler Reddick doesn't want to let anybody else win in the Cup Series. He picked up the win in the Auto Trader 400 and is only the sixth driver in NASCAR history to win the opening 2 races of the year. Matt Kenseth's the last guy to do that back in 2009.
Ooh. 09?
09, yeah.
Ooh.
So it's been a few years since that's happened.
Almost 20 years, Scott.
Yeah, and that is your racing roundup from this past weekend. A couple bills to pay here before we start to talk to Dave Kramer there. Turn heads with wraps and decals from DCR Graphics. Full wraps start at just $425. They can even put it on your car for you. Schedule an installation for a small additional charge. DCR also offers crew gear, T-shirts, hoodies, flags, hats, all kinds of stuff. DCR Graphics, make sure your whole team looks sharp at the track. And don't forget to grab your Hammer Down Racing Report sticker. Oh, speaking of which, one of these guys. Hold on, let's just get rid of this camera for now. So, yeah, one of these guys, hashtag DCR, putting that in the comments of the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. Twitch, too, I believe that works. And we'll do a drawing at the end of the show for everybody that enters. You only have to put hashtag DCR in once, and we'll draw for the winner at the end of the show. But you can also buy those for $5 from DCR Graphics. Slap it on your car, become part of the Hammer Down Army. We'll report on your finish each and every week as long as you submit it to us by 3 o'clock on Thursdays. That's the only rule. It's pretty easy. Whether it's a late model, I didn't give them...
You were going to give mine.
I didn't give the DCR Graphics number. I
Okay.
skipped out of that. Visit DCRgraphics.com. Call 419-308-9523 to place your order today. DCR Graphics, where speed meets style. I got so excited about the sticker, I just totally lost my place there. Dippin' Motorsports delivers the performance parts racers need when they need them, from the shop to the racetrack. They keep you moving with everything from complete motors and carburetors to race-ready cars and trucks. Backed by expert advice and proven high-quality components, Dippin' Motorsports helps keep you competitive and chasing wins. Don't wait until race day to find the right parts or your next motor. Call 419-283-8580 or visit DippinMotorsports.com. Dippin' Motorsports, your trackside advantage. He's got a little setup in his shop where he's got a motor like on this stand.
Yeah,
and he'll
a little run stand.
Is that what it is? Yeah, he likes to just fire that up. He's very proud of it.
It makes noise.
It does make a lot of noise. It is pretty cool. I mean, it's like a motor that just runs by itself.
Yeah,
it's magic. It's almost magical. So that's what he's got. Let's stop babbling. Bring on our guest, Dave Kramer, standing by here. We're going to talk about New Bremen Speedway. Dave, how's it going? Uh-oh.
I've got no sound now, guys. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
We can hear you. You can't hear us, though?
I've lost my sound. I can see you.
Okay, well, we can hear you, but apparently you can't hear us.
Can't hear anything.
We can do this hybrid thing. Let me give you a call.
Had you on before.
Uh-oh, he just disappeared. All right, we'll get him back on, and at the very least, we can do the hybrid phone method like we did before when we had some audio issues, because he's going to need to see some of these pictures to help describe some of the stuff that's gone on here. Some of the brief history, while we wait for Dave to reconnect here. I'll tell you that the track opened. Actually, they announced the track. There was an article, I think, in the New Bremen Sun in July 22nd, 1926. All right, let's see if you can hear us now. Can you hear us now?
Now, yes.
All right.
Oh, no, we fell down.
Fell down. Yeah, I heard you perfectly for the 15 minutes I logged on, and then all of a sudden the sound went away.
Huh. Well, we got things working now. So, Dave Kramer, give us a little background on you before we start talking about New Bremen Speedway here. Because Because I'm interested in
Well,
you. Because when I started doing, I'm sorry to interrupt, but when I started doing the research for this, your name kept popping up all over the place. I was like, I got to talk to this Dave Kramer guy. And then I didn't realize that this sheet that's got all kinds of history that I got from Ron Burt, it actually had your name and contact information at the bottom. And that was after I had called you. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. But anyway, so how have you become the expert on New Bremen Speedway?
Well, I grew up in town here, and I can vividly remember as a kid when we were little, you could hear the cars running in town, no problem. But my dad and mom were never into racing, so we never went. When I was probably, I think it was 1974, we went to the Winchester 400 with friends of my parents, and I was hooked from the minute we got there. So we went to Eldora a time or two with this group of people, but as soon as I got my license, well, and when I was old enough in 79 and 80, I started riding my bicycle out to New Bremen for the races, the last 2 years it ran. And as soon as I could drive, it's off to the races I went, wherever I could go. And it's been 35, 40 years ago. We were wondering when the track was built, and nobody knew.
Really?
No. It was actually after a funeral for my wife's great uncle, because his kids were telling us how he sat on his barn roof to watch the races because he lived right next to the speedway. My wife's like, well, go to the library and research it. And that's what started this. I had a few things, some old programs and things, but no, I started researching and never stopped.
So now you know the most. You are the New Bremen Speedway guy.
Well, my wife kind of coined that term. I went through all of New Bremen's newspapers on microfilm, and like neighboring town to St. Mary's through their newspaper. And I've got a book here with results of every race that I found from 26 through 81.
Wow.
Qualifying, heats, everything I could find. So I've got that all cataloged in a book. And
how many pages is that book?
I don't know.
That's just a few.
Cow.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave.
Well, the backstory on that, I'm a retired firefighter, paramedic.
Okay.
So we worked a 24-hour shift. And in the evenings at the firehouse, it was really yours to do what you wanted to do. So every third night, I'd spend my whole evening just going through all of my research and typing it up and going through stuff. And I did that for years at the firehouse.
Now, I assume you're still a race fan. Do you get out to any tracks anymore?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I get to Eldora. I'm only 20 minutes from Eldora.
Mm-hmm.
So I get out there once in a while. I like to go to Montpelier, Indiana a lot.
Right.
I get out to Shady Bowl. My dad and I have missed maybe a handful of races at Winchester in the past 30 years, maybe.
Wow.
I've been to about 40 different tracks, I think. So
you're a pretty dedicated race fan here.
Oh, I'm looking forward to spring.
Absolutely.
You can watch them on television, but I want to be in the stands.
It's just not the same, yeah. Let's talk about New Bremen Speedway here, because this was all before my time. I was not familiar that there was a New Bremen Speedway until I've heard it mentioned a few times, but I really didn't know anything about it. And so give us a little brief history on how things. Had started that something happened on July 22nd, 1926, where there was a report, I guess.
You talk about the riot?
No. It says the New Bremen Sun reports local men to build racetrack. Work on half-mile track started this week, and that was July 22nd, 1926. And then I saw the first race was held on August 21st, 1926. That's a month. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, did you get the pictures I sent?
Oh yeah, I got some. We'll get to those pictures. Yeah, I got a bunch of those.
Well, there's one picture. There's a car that says Dusty on the hood or on the radiator, and you can see corn right along the track.
I think I do. I did upload that. Hold on. Let me find that one. My pictures are all tiny here, but I know what picture you're talking. I think is it this one? Is that the one?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I'm assuming, I don't remember where I got that one from, but Dusty Farno won the first race. There were only 4 cars.
Oh,
But and they said there was still corn standing on the infield and along the track, which you look there and you can see the corn still standing.
well, they had to have a fallback in case the racetrack failed.
Well, what they did out there, they had an annual farmers picnic that started in 1915. So it was almost like a county fair out there. And these guys in 1926 went to the owners of the land there and asked them if they could lay out a half-mile racetrack and add a race to the farmers picnic. And that's how it all got started. Because it was started as a half mile and it stayed like that, till the end. But it just kept growing from there. Because the first races, I think they said there were no bleachers. It was just standing room only. But before long, there were bleachers, and before long, the farmers picnic was phased out. That only lasted, I think, through 29 was the last one there. But
do you know when they put the bleachers in?
well, I would assume it was fairly close after, because if the pictures from the riot, there's a lot of pictures of the bleachers where they were burned out, and some of the bleachers are still standing, so you can see it all there. And then the ground was all flat yet, so you just had wooden bleachers built up. In later years, I believe in 1956 is when they built a big earthen embankment and, concreted the grandstands and put a roof over it and all of that. But I know, just going through my notes, I know it says each year they just added more bleachers because they always had more people than bleachers in the early years.
And even some of the pictures that had the bleachers in the background, there was pretty good crowds there.
Oh, if you can believe what the old newspapers would say, they would upwards of 8,000 to 10,000 people back then. So
Wow.
kind of hard to imagine, but in the pictures, most of them look like there was a pretty decent crowd.
Well, should we start off by going through? I got some questions for you, but you want to kind of go through some of these pictures. I didn't put them all up because you sent me a ton, but let's see. I got even some of the signs and posters you kind of sent there. There's the 500 lap new car race with a 14,000.
Was that Mark?
Yes. Actually, I think that poster there, that's a picture of a poster. I don't actually have that poster, but I believe that was one of the Dayton 500 races that were held in New Bremen. The Dayton 500 down in Dayton in 71, 2, and 3, they held it here at New Bremen because of just how bad the track was getting in Dayton.
And I think I have a picture of one of those.
Yeah.
That was the first one, I think, in 71.
71. And that was on the
What
pavement
year,
there.
Dave, what year was the track paved?
It was paved in 67.
Okay.
Frank Dickey, who owned the track then, he was on USAC safety board. And 66, they lost quite a few guys on the dirt. Branson and Larson being 2 of them. Red Regal, I think Ron Lux maybe. And he decided, an article I have states that he said it was either they had to haul in a lot of new dirt or pave the track. And he decided to pave it.
And it was paved until Earl bought it, right?
It was paved until, Earl bought it in 71.
So he had it paved. He left it paved for a few years.
He left it paved for a few years and ran a few races every year. Yeah, Frank Dickey passed away of cancer in 71. That's how Earl got a hold of it. Because Frank Dickey, he went to some local guys in town here. I've talked with at least one, and he told me that Frank Dickey did not want Earl to get it because he knew what would happen, which is what happened. But
he was right then.
Oh yeah.
So and that's a picture of it where Earl's turning it back to asphalt or to dirt. I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So yeah, that's prior to the 79 season then.
Now, did he tear up the asphalt or just put dirt over?
No,
Yeah,
they're tearing it
tore
up there.
all up.
I know it's tiny for us to see.
Well, it's hard to see over here.
I can make it. Here
Yeah,
you go, Ron.
They tore up all the asphalt.
Oh, yeah.
I dumped behind turns 1 and 2, buried under the dirt there. But so I never did see a race on the pavement as a kid. I was only there in 79 and 80 on the dirt.
Oops. Now, you've said
Yeah.
you were there when it was paved.
I saw a sprint car race there, and then a USAC stock car race.
Nope. Yep. Yeah, the
Very
USAC
cool.
stuff were big here too.
And then the last, I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but the last race, I guess, was held there. Steve Kinzer actually ended up winning that September 1st, 1980.
Correct.
And then Earl sold the track in 89, and it says here he had a clause that said a 25-year no professional racing agreement clause. That was
Correct.
included.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the courthouse and got records of that because I had heard all kind of rumors.
So that's true and verified then.
Yeah, because you never know what to believe.
And I'm assuming the reason for that is how 20 minutes you say is about how far it is from Eldora?
Yeah. Well, from where I live here, and
Sure.
the track's a couple miles east of me.
Still, it's pretty close proximity,
Oh,
and
yes.
he didn't want competition for Eldora, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, incidentally, though, Earl saw his first race at New Bremen, and that's
Really?
what gave
Really?
him the idea to build Eldora.
I did not know that.
He was
I know
he played in a band. That's why they had the ballroom and stuff, because his
Right.
family was all into music. And he was on his way to St. Mary's, just down the road from here. Something about a musical gig they were going to do. And he drove past the Speedway and didn't know what it was, but saw all the cars. So he went in and sat down, and that was his first race.
Huh. Well, I know he used to own Millstream as well.
Millstream, I've heard Mansfield and,
Lima Land.
Did he own
Lima Land.
Lima Land too? I did not know that.
well, I know he promoted at some of those tracks too. So
Right.
I can't say sure if he owned or exactly how it went, but he had New Bremen for sale too for a while, because I have newspaper articles where he, says it's for sale and just looking for a buyer. And I talked to one guy that had an agreement to buy it, and they had agreed on everything, but the day came to sign the papers and Earl backed out.
Huh. Did you say why?
Competition, I'll bet.
He didn't want this guy to run it.
Oh, this was before the no professional
Yes.
rashing clause then. Okay.
Yes.
So it would have
And
still
this
been a
guy's
racetrack.
This guy's name was Jack Hewitt.
Oh, I'm familiar
Oh.
with that name.
Yes. Him and Bob Hampshire, his car owner for years, were going to buy it.
Huh.
But Earl backed out, so Jack said nope. Earl said he would lease it to him, but he wouldn't sell it to him.
I have all kinds of thoughts going through my head of how a Jack Hewitt run track would be. That would have been awesome. Well, I
Jack
guess
and all of Jack's uncles and his dad all raced here back in the 50s.
yeah.
In 51, 2, and 3, I think it was, they actually had the Hewitt Duck Race, where just
What's
the
that?
Hewitts ran. I think they did like 5 laps. Then they had to pull in the pits and jump into the pond and catch a duck.
Oh, gee.
I actually have video of one of those. They're out running and jumping and having a good time.
So there was a pond on the facility or on the property?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
on the infield.
Interesting. I like that idea. And they did this willingly?
Yeah,
Okay.
that they did. I've met Jack and several of the other Hewitts, and
Very nice. So the track sat vacant, I guess, for almost 10 years then because it didn't sell until 1989. And then I guess, according to this, they didn't even start demolishing things until 2007.
correct. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
There were a lot of trees growing in the grandstands, and we went out there a lot and just walked around. I've got a lot of pictures too of what it looked like out there. And for a while there, somebody had baled the track. There was round bales out there on the track in the infield. And so,
That would have been kind of cool looking to go check out. But
Oh yeah, like I said, me and my family and we all walked back there. Are you familiar with Chick Hale?
Yes.
Uh, I met Chick out there one day, and his girlfriend Ruth Angle. Got to know them two pretty real well. But we were out there. This was in December one year, and Chick actually he couldn't find the track, couldn't remember exactly where it was, so he got a hold of me, and we went out there, and we were taking pictures just out by the road because the gates were locked. And our police chief then drove by, who was a race fan. And I told him, I said, Doug, I said, Chick Hale, we just came out to see the. He threw me the keys and said, just lock it up when you're done. So
nice.
That's pretty cool.
we got to drive in and go down. We parked on pit road and talked down there and took some pictures. And then we took a lap around the track. So Chick was in his Cadillac and I followed in the van with my wife and kids.
Nice. So what's left on the property now?
Right now, well, they tore everything down back in '07.
Okay.
The only thing that's left standing was the big concrete like billboard that's set out by the road where they would paint it for race dates and things. And right now, Crown Control or Crown Equipment Company bought it from Earl with that no racing agreement, and they have built a lift truck test facility on what would have been the infield. So you can kind of see the shape of the track because they didn't really level it down, but they took all the walls out because it was concrete all the way around. But that's all gone, and so really there's not much to see.
Well, the 25-year clause has expired now, so I mean, maybe
Yep.
Crown Equipment could build a racetrack there. I mean,
Well, they've got buildings and stuff out there now that they use. Like I said, it's a lift truck.
they can
test
move them.
I've tried contacting them over the years or earlier about stuff, and they're into history somewhat in town with the architecture of the buildings and things and keeping things looking nice. But I don't think racing had anything to offer them. So
Well, that's too bad. Well, another thing that I noticed here, looking through the list of things that happened, was there's quite a few fatalities at that track. The first of which, back just 2 years after it opened, September 23rd, 1928.
mm-hmm.
Was it Eugene Pfeiffer?
Eugene Pfeiffer, yep.
He was just 23. Crashed and rolled several times, and died several minutes later, I guess.
Story I heard on that one, I don't know if I read this somewhere or somebody told me, was that the car that he was driving that day had wood spoke wheels on it and that they were not going to let him race. But his wife lobbied on his behalf to let him race, so they did. And
wood's
know
not
what
good.
yeah. I have actually visited his grave. I found that in Huntington, Indiana, I believe.
Wow.
Wow, that's very cool.
Of the 8 fatalities, I've been to 5 of them.
I saw there. It seemed to be there was a pretty good concentration there in the 50s. I think it was 50s
Yes.
and early 60s.
Yep.
Any
Yeah. There
any
was only
idea? Go ahead.
any idea? No. Yeah, there was only one fatality in the early years before the riot.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was just wondering if maybe by that time the speeds maybe have been exceeding the safety advances of the time, and maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, it could be, I guess. I'd be curious. Yeah, Eldora was just getting started then, so that started as a quarter for 2 years. Then it went to a half. But how it compared to other tracks, that'd be something neat to research, I guess. But,
Now, New Bremen's always been a half mile, right?
yeah, correct.
Either whether it be dirt or asphalt. Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Now, before I do want to talk about the riot thing, because that's pretty fascinating to me here. But let's take a look at some of these other pictures here. They're kind of going to be random there.
Sure.
Anything? Any idea what that is?
Well, it's a USAC race, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think if I had that one labeled, if I knew who that was. I try to label them when I know, and
I think it might. Let me take off this. See if if it was labeled, it got cut off at the bottom.
hard telling. I can't remember for sure on that one.
I like that though. He's got his arm up. I don't know if he's waving like I'm number one or what'd you do?
I'm guessing they're not racing there. They're under caution or
Caution.
a paint lap.
Any I'm going to ask Ron this because he's a race car expert. Any idea what year that might be with those style cars?
If I had to guess, early 60s.
Okay, so not too old.
I was going to say late 50s, early 60s.
Okay. And then it looked like they had some motorcycle races
Did
there?
you like the roll cage?
Races, yes.
Did you like the roll cages on those cars, Scott?
It's a little bit lower than his head there.
Yes.
It doesn't seem to be... yeah, okay. I don't even want to think about that.
You wonder why nobody thought about roll bars sooner.
Yeah. So they had motorcycle races there. Do they have any other kind of racing other than automobiles and motorcycles?
Just autos and motorcycles. I know there was one bicycle race that I had a picture of one year just as a gimmick during the races, but
now were motorcycle races like a regular thing there?
no, that was mostly through, I'm thinking, if I'm remembering correctly, through the late 50s.
Okay.
Because I did know a guy from New Carlisle. Now his name's jumping away. Bob Moore. He raced motorcycles at New Bremen. He was a friend of mine that I met through this. He has since passed away, but yeah, he remembered racing at Bremen, and his claim to fame from racing at New Bremen was one time he was tuning his bike up between races or something, and he was riding through the pits, and he didn't see a rope tied between two trees.
Oh.
And he hit that because he had a big scar on his neck.
Oh, on his neck.
Oh.
Yes.
It's a good thing it didn't take his head off. Holy cow.
Yeah, no, he was a good friend. I've met so many neat people doing this. So,
And this looks like a more modern sprint car. I saw it's got Keir's speed chop on it, which I recognize.
Yep.
I was trying to. That's Rick Ferkel. Okay.
Yep, he signed that one.
Very nice.
One day, I believe at Eldora had him sign that.
And then this one's a little older.
That is John Wissman from New Bremen here. That was a little car they used as a promotional thing here at the track. So
I saw the name John Wisman, and I was thinking if he was related to the guys up at Flat Rock. Yeah. Spelled differently, though.
Because I have another picture of him sitting in that car, and there's a race car sitting next to him with Maury Rose in it, because Maury's looking at him, and you can really tell it's Maury Rose. Yeah, it's a nice, clear shot.
That's a pretty cool thing. And then I saw this, and I was like, that's kind of cool. The Ohio State 500.
Mm-hmm.
$40,000 purse, 5 days, 5 tracks. And I know, what year is this? Does it show?
I believe that was in the 70s.
Even in the 70s, that's a pretty good purse.
Yeah.
And there's some tracks on there. I didn't know Sandusky was Sandusky International Speedway at one point.
Yeah, hard telling.
Columbus Motor Speedway, that's no longer there. Dayton Speedway. What's Cloverleaf? I've heard of that, but I don't know.
Cleveland.
Is that
Cleveland area? Yep. I don't know anything about it, but
so all these tracks are gone except for, well, I guess technically Sandusky is now too, right?
I heard they weren't racing there again. So
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Yep.
I've been around the track there, but I never got to a race there.
Ron and I usually go there and race on New Year's Day during the hangover race.
Yeah.
Have a lot of fun. So, what is this? We got this one. Looks like they're coming racing out of turn 4.
Coming out of turn 4, correct? Yeah, just a neat old picture. Sprints are midgets.
I mean, look at the old cars in the 60s in the infield.
Most of those, a lot of those are 50s.
50s, okay.
That could be real early 60s, Scott.
Where was I? Oh, here we go. There's an old one.
There's an old one in the pits, yep.
So the pits are right there in the inside of the track then.
Yeah. it was on the infield with the cars wide open to the track back then.
Yeah, it looks like those cars don't have roll bars at all, Ron.
No.
The big old high-wheeled cars.
Yeah.
Pretty good safety fence there, too.
Yes.
Yeah. That picture actually came from our historical society here in town. They had a few things and a copy of the poster from the original race, or they had a poster that I did copy. And I did an article for them years ago on the history of the track, and they never thought to do that because the lady that ran the historical society then, to her, it was just a dirty old racetrack. It had no history or.
Oh,
but
that hurts.
She changed her mind after the interest that the article generated, and they did a painting that I helped them do, a local artist. Then they made prints and sold as a fundraiser, and those sold out real quick. And none of their other prints had ever sold out. So
Well, I mean, and this place has had some big races, big crowds, big names.
a lot of big names.
I had mentioned Tom Sneva, AJ Foyt.
Oh.
I saw Mario Andretti. What are some of the other big names that have raced out there?
Oh, well, Tim Richmond. You go to NASCAR, you had Tim Richmond, Ken Schrader, Dick Trickle. Trickle run a race here in 71. Now, you mentioned AJ. AJ won here. His only win here came on October 5th of 69. I turned 5 years old that day, but I wasn't there. So, but boy, yeah. I'm trying to think. And you mentioned Mario, Sneva.
Was that a stock car race?
Yes, that was a USAC stock car race.
I could have been there.
You could have been there.
The USAC stock car races, they had drew a lot of people for those, I think.
Yeah.
There was a lot of interest in it back then. I mean, it rivaled NASCAR, but I'm not sure what happened there. But
Bettenhausen, Kinzer. I mean,
Bettenhausen's, Kinzer's. Yeah, I'm trying to.
names that Ron may recognize that I don't.
Just pulling up. Larry Dixon, Sammy Sessions, Greg Weld, Bettenhausen, George Snyder, the Vukovic, Mike Mosley. I'm just looking at a qualifying list from 1968.
I know that our good friend Jimmy McCune, his grandfather raced there, Jim McCune the first.
USAC?
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't recall his name, but I probably got him in here somewhere.
Would have been a yellow 88. That was the family's trademark, and kind of had been for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm. What years did he race?
Ooh, late 40s, early 50s.
Okay.
Probably up into 61 or 2.
Let's check out a few more photos here, and then we got to talk about the riot, because that's pretty big story there. We already took a look at this one, probably one of the first races with the cornfield right along the track there.
If you can see on the radiator on the front, I think it says Dusty.
Yeah, it does say Dusty.
Yeah, because Dusty Farno, he won the first race, and he did go on to race at Indy in, I believe, 1934. And finished 28th. But that's more than cool. I can say.
All right. We got some races coming up on Sunday, May 31st. USAC sprint races. Indianapolis 500 stars in action.
That's a 1964 poster.
Well, and back in the early 60s, Scott, that was the way you got to Indy, was by being a sprint car superstar.
Mm-hmm. Well, May 31st was probably the day after Indy, because
that's true. Yeah. That makes sense.
For years, New Bremen had the day after Indy race, and you had all them guys coming this way then. And Tommy Hintershitz out of Pennsylvania.
What's that car? One line down from this one, Scott.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
Look at the roll bar on that one too. What's the point of the roll bar only being that high?
That's a good question.
You could duck under it.
Okay.
Remember, Scott, they didn't have a lot of safety equipment, so there was no Hans device or anything. They just ducked down and hung on.
Or a lot of them believed that it was better to be thrown from the car,
Exactly.
not crushed under it.
Yeah.
So
A couple of super modifieds there, I'm thinking.
mods,
Yeah.
yep.
Nice.
Oh, if I could go back in time.
Yeah. That's kind of a cool shot with look at the grandstands behind. Covered
I believe that's
grandstands.
May 21st of 80. So last year.
May
'Cause I
26th,
believe
I think it
it's-
says.
Okay, yeah. If I'm remembering correctly, Lee Osborne, Wolfgang, Kinzer.
World of Outlaws.
Yeah. And notice the top of the cars.
No wings.
No wings. Most people don't realize that the Outlaws did that in the first few years.
See, I
They
didn't
would
even
have
know
winged
that.
and non-wing shows.
We're most of this was typically a Sunday night track, right?
Sunday afternoon.
Sunday after. Oh, okay. They did have a night race though, weren't they? I thought I saw something that said it was they hosted the first night race.
There was a night race in 1930. They brought in portable lights from what I've read in newspapers, and the weather wasn't real good, so they didn't have a big crowd, and they never tried it again.
Oh.
But in the late 50s, they did have lights, but they only ran a couple night races that I've ever come across. So
Is this the one that you wanted to see, Ron?
Yeah.
What are we looking at here? A stock car.
That would
ARCA?
have been
I
just a
couldn't
stock
see it.
car race. It wouldn't. I doubt that it was even USAC.
yeah,
What'd you
I
say?
honestly don't know on that one.
Okay.
Those were some
That's-
pictures I found on the internet, I believe.
But I did notice that some of the pictures when it was paved, there are a few more empty seats in the stands compared to the pictures from when it was a dirt track.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that think that's the worst thing that, he could have done. And
And that's when we already looked at that when Earl tore
Mhm.
up the asphalt. Here's an action shot here.
Uh-oh.
Series of shots.
yeah, May 3rd of 64, Jimmy McGuire. He lost
And-
an arm in that one.
I thought it said minor injuries. It's losing an arm.
That's minor.
Okay.
Uh,
1964.
that I know that was a bad day because there was two other accidents that day that I know of because I have those two on video. A crash on the backstretch. Well, the first one was with Chuck Hulse, and he just did a vicious, end over end. Oh, I don't know how many times he went over, but from what I've read, he raced after that, after he recovered, but was never the same. And the other one was a driver by the name of Bobby Black. I think he went over the wall on the backstretch, but they both survived.
There's one. Look at the grandstand in that one from September 7th, 1958.
Ooh.
That is the picture that the local artist painted a print of that, and that they sold as a moneymaker for the local historical society that sold out real quick.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool shot, actually.
I have the original hanging in the other room here.
Nice. Who's this? Henry Meyer.
Have you heard of Henry?
I have not.
No. He was from Greenville, Ohio, very big into racing in the early years. I mean, he did some driving himself, but from what I've heard, people that knew him, he decided it was too dangerous. He'd rather build the cars and work on them. So, well, here he is driving this one, yeah.
Yeah.
But
And it says it's from 1931, so this had to be just before the riot then.
just before
Or
the
shortly
riot, yeah.
before.
Because I knew some guys from locally here that knew Henry real well, and it was just always neat to talk with him.
Now, Scott, it said something about the Wright brothers on that. What would up at the top?
Wright Brothers, Fisk Tire,
Fonte Ford.
Ronnie Ford.
Yep.
Greenville, Ohio.
So it must have been a different right here and not the
Yeah,
right.
I don't think it's the flying one.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you're down in that area, Dayton. I mean,
Yeah.
the area's
Well-
not that far.
When you mentioned the Wright brothers, I have heard story that they flew over here during one of the farmers' picnic in the early years. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just visited Henry Meyer's grave here not too long ago because a friend of mine. Have you ever heard of Shams Racing Museum in Union City?
I haven't.
Well, he's a Sham's an old race fan and used to work at Eldora and some other tracks and always been into racing and owned a junkyard for years and wrecker service. But he started a museum there, and he knew Henry Meyer and he let me know one time where Henry was buried here not too long ago. So I stopped and saw where that is. That's just near Greenville. So
Another pretty good crowd, Scott.
Yeah, this one looks pretty old too.
yeah, that's on the early years between 26 and 31.
Yeah, that's like standing room only crowd.
Yeah. Well, I guess there wasn't a whole lot to do back then. So
Just a couple more pictures here. We got Martino.
John Martino, I think if that was I don't think it was a USAC race. I think it's just another stock car race that they had here because I do remember having that name in results here.
Pretty cool looking Chevelle.
Yeah.
And
Real stock cars are neat to see.
Yeah, last one I got here is one of Johnny Rutherford.
Lone Star JR.
That's it.
From 1964. Look at the tires. Did they groove those tires?
Double
like that?
diamonds.
Okay. Was that the thing?
Yeah.
Did they have to have Hoosiers back then? And did they have to be certain compounds?
No, they didn't.
Open tire rules back then?
That's it.
That's,
I was born a few months later.
very cool pictures. Is there anywhere where people can see more of these pictures? I know Alan Arsenault sent me a video that I'll put up. I would play it, but it's got music in it, and I think that we'd be knocked off line here due to copyright. But I'll share that later. I guess he went out there in 2004 and took some photos. But I saw a bunch of them on the New Bremen Historical Society's page.
Yeah, they have a few.
Okay.
I don't really have a lot of stuff posted online anywhere or anything. I guess I should do more of that. What I do, we used to have several car shows around here a year that I would bring out and set up my big display. I tried to send you a video of my display, but it was too long and they wouldn't accept it, too many megabytes or whatever. But because there's a car show annually at the Piqua Mall.
Yes.
Down the road, just south of here. They fill the old mall up with cars and stuff. Some old cars, some new cars. A lot of different tracks, set up booths as far as, just to promote what they got coming on for the coming year. And excuse me, I usually set up my display and.
Nice. I know that's Ron Burt for Magic Moment DJ had met you down there, and that's kind of how I got in contact with you.
Yes. So. Yep. I remember talking with him there. That's coming up here March 2021 maybe.
Coming up soon, yeah.
Yes.
He actually had a question for you too. He wanted me to ask. He says, all these years of collecting memorabilia from New Bremen Speedway, from a nostalgic perspective, what decade or glory years would you have wanted to race at New Bremen Speedway?
Ooh. I would probably have to go with the 60s, when you had Branson, Larson, Hintershitz and all of them guys, and Andretti and Rutherford, Foyt. That was, the track was nationally known then, and yeah, that would have been mine. I like the stock cars too, but you can't beat
the 60s was a good time in racing, period, Scott.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now let's talk about the riot and the fire, because this was I guess a big thing that kind of happened. The track, as we mentioned, got started in 1926, and then the riot, I guess, that happened at the end of the 1931 season, kind of put a damper on racing there for quite a few years. So I give the floor to you. Tell us the story of the riot. What happened? What led to it? And what was the results of all of it?
Well, they had a good from what I understand and what I read in the papers and from talking to people, and I've been to the courthouse and got all the court news and stuff from it.
Were you a journalist? Because all this research you do, it sounds like you have a journalistic background.
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, you could be. You could be if you want.
He was a fireman. He had nothing to do.
Okay.
Well, a racing journalist, maybe.
There you go.
You know, the Historical Society, after I did this, she's like, "Do you want to research baseball and, the teams?" No. I said, "I really have no desire to. I can watch baseball, but it's not my go-to sport, put it that way." So,
not your cup of tea. All right, let's talk about this riot.
The riot, September 20th of 31. I guess the weather was beautiful. They had a big crowd, but the purse was not as much as it had been earlier in the year. For some of they only had like 4 races a year back in the 20s and 30s. And they had run 3 of the 4 races that day. And with the size of the crowd, the drivers, from what I've read, the drivers decided they wanted a bigger payout.
8,000 fans, it says, were in attendance.
Yeah, I'm pulling up my notes here too.
I'm looking at your notes, so I'm cheating.
Yeah. No, I got to remind myself too once in a while. But 4 events were scheduled. There was a 5, 10, a 7, and a 20-mile feature. They ran the first 3. Howdy Wilcox won the first. Clay Corbett won the second. Al Miller won the third. And our friend Henry Meyer, you just showed, he was third in the 7-mile event that day. But came time for the feature, the drivers decided to protest that they wanted more money. And the story is that they forgot to shut off the loudspeaker or something. The crowd got wind of this. And, they paid their money. They wanted to see a race. And before you know it, things got out of hand. They were tearing up the bleachers, throwing boards.
The crowd got out of hand.
Yes, yes. And story goes, and I've read this, that Maury Rose was there that day, but had car problems. So he didn't run and was in the stands. And that he kind of egged people on to get it going. And he was one of them that was finally arrested. Spent some time in the Auglaize County jail here. Said, law enforcement couldn't handle the mob, so it just kind of went on. And then somebody started torching the bleachers, because I've got pictures where whole sections of the bleachers are gone. The judges' stand then stood on the infield, and I've got pictures of them. They threw a rope up around it and they knocked it over and then torched it. And there was no racing for 16 years.
16. So the fans were mad that the racers weren't racing. It was the fans were mad at the track then, or were they mad at the racers?
From what I heard, they wanted the track to pony up more money. They thought they should too. And there were 5 guys that were part of the New Bremen Speedway company that started this back in the day there. And one of them was the local veterinarian, and they said he had the best rapport with the drivers, but he was not at the track that day, that he had to go somewhere to pick up medicine for his veterinary business. Because I know I read somewhere, or someone told me, that if he had been there, he could have probably worked it out, but he wasn't. So
the purse was, I'm guessing, promoted ahead of time, right? So the drivers knew originally what they were racing for, but then just decided because they had a big crowd, they wanted more money.
Right. I've got more notes here that the purse was, they were paying out $525, and the drivers wanted it raised to $750. So, but the entry blanks for that day stated $525. So fans became restless and started doing what they did.
Could you imagine something like that happening at a track nowadays? Oh, they got a big crowd. We should be racing for 5,000 instead of 2,000.
I could believe that,
Yeah,
Scott.
I really could.
Yeah.
It says here, the drivers that were supposed to race in that race were Howdy Wilcox, Bob Carey, Bill Chittum, Al Miller, Gene Morgan, and Clay Corbett. So, and I've also got articles stating that Maury Rose, after this was all said and done, till the day he died, he actually denied that he had anything to do with it, that he just pled guilty because he needed to get things done and out of the way and couldn't afford to fight it. So, you don't know what to believe. He went on to win Indy 3 times, so he was a good racer, no doubt. But
So they ended up not racing anymore once the riot started.
no, they said their insurance did not cover damage due to a riot. So
Civil upheavals.
the track sat empty till 1947 was the next race.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much damage was done to the track then?
Well,
Or the facilities?
I don't know if I can. I got a couple pictures here. I was going to try to hold them up, and you might be able to see. Oh, where'd we go here?
I see in your notes it said to be estimated around $10,000.
Correct. I don't know if you can make out any of these here.
Yeah, a little bit.
You can see where the stands are missing. And there was a catwalk above the track that the announcer or the flagman stood on, I guess, and that's gone. On this side here, you can see the judges stand.
Oh my.
Toppled it. It's kind of a round building with the second story was where the judges were, I guess. So,
Do you know if anybody got hurt in any of the rioting?
Not that I know of. Okay. But I did hear a story. I think I've got it in writing in here somewhere. There was a local guy that the police were looking for. He was there that day but left. And when he got wind that the police were after him, he almost killed himself.
Oh,
He tried to hang himself, but there's a few more from the riot at the judges' stand before it got burnt.
Jeez.
But now, as far as anybody getting hurt on the ground, they're not that I really have ever heard. So
then, did it take them 16 years to make repairs of the track, or they just waited? Or
I think those five just kind of gave up and decided, they weren't gonna. They had enough and weren't going to try anymore. Then in 47, I believe the Tupp brothers, T-O-P-P was the last name, Frank, Clarence, and Warren. They bought the track and decided to give it a go, and that's when it started again. So
now that wasn't the only time there was damage to the facilities. I thought I saw somewhere there was a bad storm. Was it 66?
Yeah.
Possible tornado took off a large portion of the grandstand roof, and they only ran one race that year.
There was one race early in the spring there, and they ran that. Then they had the storm, and then there was no more. So
just that year.
That's when. But then that's when Frank Dickey ended up buying the track. He had started promoting back in 53 when the Tupp brothers owned it. He was a local guy, local businessman who was very, very into racing. He was on USAC's safety board, I think, like I said earlier, and the USAC board of directors or something like that. But then he decided to pave it then.
A lot of history at New Bremen Speedway.
well, and a lot.
Did you know about the riot and all that stuff?
No, I
too?
did not.
See?
That one preceded even me.
Oh, wow.
Here's a little better shot, maybe, where you can see where the bleachers have been burnt out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's missing on the left there.
And here's another one that.
Well, they did a number of things, huh?
Yeah.
Not much left.
Well, old dry lumber, I guess, and
angry race fans. Wow. Don't get any ideas.
no,
Race fans? No, we don't need that again. And what? There were several people I saw that were arrested on that, not just
there were like
Maury
4 or
Rose.
5 that were arrested. And like I said, I've got all the courthouse records from all that. it's just interesting to see, but in a sad sort of way.
Yeah.
You just wonder what might have happened if, you know.
So let me ask you this as we got to get ready to wrap things up here. But with all the history there and all the different stories, what fascinates you most about New Bremen Speedway?
Probably just the fact that, back in the 60s, 70s, all the famous drivers that were here, because with USAC and the national championship, all your points from midgets, sprints, IndyCar, stock car, all combined for the national championship. Yep. I think until 71 or 2 maybe. So, you had guys like Foyt and Rutherford and Andretti that were out to run anything they could to get those points. And,
and they were big names. They were big names at that time too, I believe.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Indy, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said it was always a big deal when Foyt pulled into the track there. Are you familiar with Jack Bowser, USAC stock car driver? Because Jack always, AJ always drove Jack's Torinos in the USAC stock cars. So Jack would be there with the cars, and then when AJ would, make his entrance, it was always a big deal. Because they said a lot of times he would fly over the track first before they would land a few miles down the road in New Knoxville at the airport. Then it's only a 10-minute drive to the track. So, but yeah,
it's always sad to see racetracks close up. And
oh yeah.
And do you think do people blame Earl Baltes for that track closing for good then because he didn't want the competition with Eldora?
I do.
I do. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, certainly that's, the main part of it, but I guess I've got an article here somewhere. I need to dig that out. But initially he wanted to buy New Bremen before he ever built Eldora. But then, that would have been Tuck Brothers or Frank Dickey would not sell it to him because he wanted to. But so that's when he went and built Eldora, which, he had the perfect place to build Eldora out in the middle of nowhere and just the way it sat. So,
you got any history? This is more of a personal thing, but he had built a mile track, just right around the corner from Eldora. Yeah. And they never had any races there because I did a little research on this. I was fascinated by it. 1 mile long dirt track, and they had a couple late models or something do some tests on it, and they decided it was just too fast to actually race on.
They might have run a few cars out there, but there was never a track fully built. There were no walls, no nothing ever. Because you can see the dirt that's been moved yet, but they never got close to finishing it.
Yeah, it was roughed in, but
yeah, you can kind of see the outline on Google Earth and some of the older pictures there. It was kind of cool, but
yeah, 1 mile is pretty big. I read where he decided that the speeds were getting too high on the miles.
Yeah,
that it just from an insurance standpoint and safety and.
Any idea what year or years that was?
Boy,
just wondering how it coincides with his ownership of New Bremen.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, because that I don't remember.
And I don't.
We're all producer Dave. Dave stumps us off. He's help now.
That's something I'll have to look into. I'm not sure if it was in the 80s, late 70s, 80s, or I don't know.
I see producer Dave is doing something. It looks like he might be looking that up for us.
Looking that up?
Yeah. We have a producer, Dave Kramer, not to be confused with you, Dave Kramer.
Yeah.
Names are very close, but a couple of big racing fans there. Dave, we appreciate you coming on and sharing some of the history there with New Bremen Speedway with us this evening, and we definitely appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you reaching out to do this. So this is
good time. A lot of history.
A lot of history, and it's what I'm doing to keep the history alive. So,
is there any way that people can contact you if they have some information on New Bremen Speedway that you would want to share to the public?
My email.
Okay.
You have my email there, NB SPDWY Tom@yahoo.com.
Yeah, I can actually, I'll type that in here for him.
Yes, at the bottom of that. Those history papers, when I do a display, I have those just laying out for people to take. So
Did they ever change, or are they the same?
no, they're pretty much the same. I've got. Do you have one with the riot history too?
Yes, it's got the riot history on the back, or I'm not sure which one's the
Yes.
front or back, but
Yep.
yeah.
So that's whenever
Right.
I do a display. I did displays at several tracks over the years too. When they had their old timers day, I was down at Salem with all my stuff once, and Mount Lawn and Toledo.
Toledo, nice. Did I get your email right there?
Oh, where do we?
NBSPDWI. It's like New Bremen Speedway abbreviated.
Bremen Speedway, yep.
At yahoo.com. You can get a hold of Dave there. You can help him out if you got any stories or other pictures that maybe
Stories or whatever, or if you got a question, sure, huh? That's why I do this. So many people have shared stuff with me that, and I've tried to, people look through my stuff and find pictures of family or friends or their favorite driver, and I'll get them copies. And so, yeah,
definitely very cool keeping the memory alive.
Yeah. Well, like my wife said, go to the library, research it.
Do you have a whole room in your house dedicated to with all this stuff, or?
I got stuff hanging all over because I've got all my posters framed, and there's been a lot of pictures framed, and I've got the 2 big road signs that I found.
Maybe you need to talk to the Crown Equipment and see if you can open up a little museum out in front of their building.
I mentioned before, my friend Sham that has the museum down in Union City. It's a little far off, but I've talked to him a little bit about putting some stuff in there. So
that'd be cool.
Oh yeah,
little New Bremen Speedway exhibit or something.
He's got a lot of stuff from Winchester, and so it's trying the history of the the old Greenville Speedway, if you're familiar with that.
And there's a lot of speedways that no longer exist.
Right.
I was talking to Ron before we came on. Just in our direct area here in Toledo, there was it Fort Miami Speedway and Maumee, and then Raceway Park before it became a horse racing track. Was
Bryan Speedway, yeah.
Yeah, we had the folks on from Bryan Speedway last year. That was a fun memory. I used to live a couple miles from there, so I had personal memories. So
see, now when did they last race there?
Mid-90s, I do believe.
That's what I thought. I never got to go there. I wish I had seen it, but
yeah, well, you can check out our episode from about a year ago.
Sure.
Had a lot of former racers on there.
The Salina, which is not far from here, just across the lake, basically. Harbor Point Speedway. I found ads for that, but I've never found, results for races. So I don't. Maybe they had one race and they were done. I really don't know, but I've heard of tracks doing that.
I had never heard of that one.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one, but
Landeck up near Delphus, Ohio. That was another dirt track that was there for 10 or 15 years, maybe.
It's crazy how many dirt tracks have come and gone.
Oh yeah. Wow. Now the story on that one there was they tried to pave it or gravel it, and it was so abrasive on tires that the drivers quit going. So
that'll do it. Tires are expensive, especially nowadays. But anyways, Dave Kramer, the New Bremen Speedway guy, we appreciate you sharing all your stories and photos with us here this evening, and definitely keep in touch with us.
Will do, and thanks again. Appreciate it. It was fun.
Dave, thanks so much for your time tonight.
You are quite welcome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Take care.
There you go. Dave Kramer, the New Bremen Speedway guy.
That was interesting.
That was very interesting. It was your history lesson for this week.
Ooh.
A lot of history there, New Bremen. I mean, some interesting stuff, too, with the riots, the drivers, the big races, huge crowds. I mean, that was like a major racing. I mean, the race after the Indy 500.
Deal, yeah.
The day after the 500. And back then, it was USAC was the same. It was the same cars that raced at Indy that would be there, right? Way back in the day. I
would imagine their sprint cars were different, but yeah.
So yeah, there's your history lesson for tonight. I missed your question there, John, about the most meaningful. I'm not sure, but I can look up Earl's book. Okay, Dave's looking up when that mile track was built. Oh, we're going to give away the Hammer Down Racing Report window sticker, #DCR if you haven't done so, in the comments of the Facebook Live, YouTube Live. We'll be doing that drawing here shortly. And that also, how many? Giving away some pizza and some more stickers. So stick around for all that fun stuff. Before we get to that, I have to mention whether it's a late model, modified, or street stock, every body part counts. That's why you should choose Dominator Race Products, the go-to source for hood scoops, roofs, wheel covers, nose and tail components, body fasteners, and more, all engineered tough for the track. Order online anytime at DominatorRaceProducts.com or visit your local reputable race shop. Or you can call 419-923-69 and order direct from Dominator. For quality parts that keep you dominating the racing field, trust Dominator Racing Products. If you have a great idea for a new podcast, but you don't know where to start, check out Hammer Down Podcasting Services. More information on hammerdownracingreport.com and click on the Podcasting Services tab. A little bit of racing news to get to here first, and then I got all these pictures. It's just messing up my everything I got here. Racing news.
Latest racing news.
Mentioned Millstream a little bit earlier. Speaking of Millstream, they released their 2026 schedule over the weekend with 6 nights of racing.
Yeah.
How many nights did they have last year?
I don't remember, Scott.
I think it might have been a couple more, but still. The season opens with Ohio Sprint Speed Week, so it's starting a little bit late there. June 14th will be the first race for Ohio Sprint Speed Week. They got some big events, though, this year. USAC AMSOIL Sprint Cars Series is scheduled for Racers Reunion Night on June 26th. The American Late Model Ironman Series and Great Lakes Traditional Sprints will compete for 2 nights, August 14th and the 15th. One night on the quarter-mile track and the other night on the big track, the Great Lakes Super Sprints, Lightning Sprints, USAC D2 Midwest Thunder Midgets, and Ohio Valley Late Model Dirt Series are scheduled for Family Night, August 29th. The season closes with the Sheldon Hodenshield Buckeye Brawl, featuring the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series on October 8th. For more information and see the whole schedule, millstreamspeedway.net. I know there were, I saw some people making some comments. Where are the local racers, the stock guys, or the Dirt Track Truck Series has a couple events there.
That was the only thing that I saw.
They kind of I guess the closest to local as they started there at Waynesfield.
Yeah.
So cool, and the schedules nowadays anymore are kind of fluid, so things probably could be added to it.
Something could be added, and hopefully will be.
Hopefully will. One of those things that probably will not be added anywhere is our Showdown Series.
Yeah.
Sounds like that may not be happening this year, unfortunately. So don't look for that, but maybe Millstream had the Ron Jenkins Memorial, which was a pretty cool event years ago. Years ago, like what, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
I guess it was a while ago. It doesn't seem that long ago, but that was fun. That brought in a lot of cars, too, stock cars there, but I'm kind of biased when it comes to that myself, so, you know. Team USA gold medal hockey goalie Connor Hellebuck, his father, Chuck, ran weekly in the ARCA street stocks at Flat Rock Speedway back in the 80s and 90s. Did you know that? I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Big story there in the Olympics. He was an incredible performance there.
Amazing. Only allowed.
You watched hockey?
You betcha, buddy.
I'm proud of you. Yeah, they kicked some butt there. That was a good game. Fun to watch. I hated getting up at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning to watch that game,
but you forced it.
I did. Actually, I woke up a little late. I thought I set my alarm for 8:10 because that was when the puck was supposed to drop, and I woke up just out of the blue at like 8:30, and I'm like, what the hell? So I missed the first few minutes, but But the end overtime victory was pretty cool. And
yes, it
Hellebuck was huge. And I didn't know, there's a lot of local connection, at least in the Detroit area, for the hockey guys up there. While Interstate Batteries High Limit Racing Midweek Series returns for a 4th season in 2026, actually the Wild is not supposed to be there, just as Interstate Batteries High Limit Racing Midweek Series returns for a 4th season in 2026. Okay. Roto-Rooter has once again partnered with Interstate Batteries High Limit Racing as the title sponsor of the Roto-Rooter Midweek Series. New in 2026, the Midweek Series will be comprised of all standalone single-day events from Monday through Thursday on the schedule, giving the series 15 races at 14 tracks in 11 states for the mini-series. Of the 15 events, 5 will be live on both Flow Racing and FS1, as we had talked to Dustin Jarrett a few weeks back. At least, I forgot to get the video of this, but maybe you've seen this. There's a couple of different angles of it going around from Tulsa. They had a demolition derby indoors. At least one person was injured Saturday night at the Tulsa Expo Center during a demolition derby that was part of the 62nd annual Darrell Starbird Rod and Custom Car Show. They had those Jersey barriers kind of separated, and they had people like right behind them, which was crazy. And one of the cars drove through the concrete barrier. Those barriers, I guess, weigh like 3,000 pounds, and into the crowd of people behind it. The crowd was seen scattering in videos posted across social media. The Tulsa police have confirmed that at least one person was injured. The extent and total number of injuries remain unclear. No deaths were reported, but it was pretty scary looking. It just kind of, I don't know, it looked like the throttle stuck, and he just plowed over the barrier and into a crowd of people. I saw a couple different angles of that, too. Not that I was looking for it. It just happened to show up there. And finally, 13-year-old Keelan Harvick has signed a long-term development contract with Toyota Racing. Harvick will partner with Rackley Ware and Kevin Harvick, Inc. to compete in dozens of late model races nationwide, piloting the number 62 Toyota Camry, with ExxonMobil serving as primary sponsor for several of those events.
I wonder if Brexton Bush has been signed yet.
I'm sure that their names probably are helping them for that. So
you think? Just maybe.
That is it for your racing news for this week. This week in motorsports history from the Hammer Down File Vault in 1967. On this date, February 26th, Mario Andretti, who raced at New Bremen Speedway, was the winner of the 9th Daytona 500. And he might have been racing there at that same. I saw, where was his name at on here? It might have been right around that same time frame. That 1965. Well, it's close. Yeah,
2 years.
A couple of years before he finished 5th in USAC Sprint Cars, May 1st, 1965. So that was not this week in motorsports history. That was a different. Anyways.
That was a side light to this week.
In 2012, on February 27th, it was the first Monday night Daytona 500. Matt Kenseth won that, and I believe that was because our rain delayed it. Right. But then they had the lights. And that was the one where Juan Pablo Montoya crashed into the jet dryer.
Yeah.
Caused that big, huge fire. That was pretty crazy. I wonder if he still gets crap about that.
I'll bet he does.
And finally, on this date in 1998, or not this date, March 1st, 1998, Mark Martin won the first NASCAR Cup Series race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Oh.
That's my guy. I like Mark. Mark was my guy.
He's all right.
He was my guy before the sponsor changed from Valvoline to Viagra, and then I was like, I can't wear a Viagra.
You just couldn't?
Shirt and stuff. I just
couldn't relate.
No, I mean, especially back then, I was like 20s. So 20-year-old wearing a Viagra shirt. I mean, even now, would you wear a Viagra shirt?
How much were they paying?
All right, so that is your week in motorsports history. Oakshade Raceway is already gearing up for the 2026 race season with several dates on the schedule. Highlights include the Barney Oldfield race in June. That features the American Late Model Ironman Series, along with the always popular birthday race in July, part of the Summer Nationals, the penultimate event for that late model tour, along with the Summit Racing Equipment Modifieds. Stay up to date on race news, race dates, and announcements by visiting Oakshade Raceway and following their social media at Oakshade Raceway. Oakshade Raceway, we're the fastest meet to race. And we did have, remember we had the Hammer Down hotline text from last week?
Right.
And I'd forgot because it was for Barry, who we had on the show.
Yeah.
There's the question. I have his response. I got it via text here. I didn't copy it down, so I would just read you his response there. You probably, can you read that?
I can't see it.
Okay. The question was, Barry, what is the one thing that a sprint car driver can do that will just upset you to no end? And here's his answer. Because I prefaced it when I gave it to him. I was like, is there a backstory to this?
I'll bet there was.
Well, his answer was, I don't know of a backstory, but my threshold for losing it with anyone is pretty high. It takes a lot for me to lose it with a driver, but for me personally, the thing that really pisses me off is when someone won't put our series decals on. I take it personally. I think of what I try to do for everyone, purse, points, good schedule, etc., and when they don't put our series stickers on, it's a snub, and I want to lose it. But even then, I don't lose it on them because I'm not wired that way, but I do keep score in my head. That's the quote unquote from there's your week delayed Hammer Down Racing Report or
and
Hammer Down Hotline.
Maybe
text.
somebody has some insight
Maybe
as to what it could be that really triggers Barry.
Yes. If you know, give us a call on the Hammer Down Hotline, 419-318-3081. Call or text anytime, day or night.
I knew that number.
I know you did. You proved it earlier. Let's do our how many and give away some pizza. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many?
So last week's how many was how many Lucas Oil late models would be at Alltech, plus how many World of Outlaw late models would be at Hendry, both on Saturday evening. That totaled out to being 38 Lucas Oil cars, plus 27 World of Outlaw cars. And if I did my math right, that's 65.
Right.
You chose 68. I was the pessimist and said 67 this week, so yay me for being a pessimist.
I was really disappointed with Hendry.
Were you?
And I think only 25 cars.
I didn't watch that
I
race.
think only 25 cars competed.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I think in the two flights where I got the number from qualifying, there was 2 DNS.
Yeah.
One in each one, I should say. So our show winner, who gets a large 2-item pizza from the pizza place formerly known as Big D's Pizza out there in Clyde, located at 808 North Main Street. Phone number 419-547-1444. They're also going to get a Speedy Sponsor sticker and an Ottawa Link Bull Ring sticker. One of these and one of those.
One of those.
That's going to be Nancy Schoenauer.
Really?
She was right on the dot, right at 65.
Ooh.
So you have 30 days to claim your pizza from the pizza place formerly known as Big D's, and also 30 days to pick up your stickers from Ron Miller Race Cars. So congratulations, Nancy Schoenauer. This week, IndyCar Series is kicking off their season this weekend, so I figured we'd do something for the IndyCars. Pretty simple one, no math involved. I'm gonna make it. I forgot to type this out, so you're gonna have to listen. I know it's hard for some people, but that's right, the Red Wings are playing. I forgot.
Ooh.
More hockey stuff. Sorry, squirrel. I got distracted. This week's how many is how many drivers will finish on the lead lap of the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, which is the IndyCar Series opener. That is, again, good for a free large 2-topping pizza from the pizza place formerly known as Big D's. And an Ottawa Lake Bullring sticker, because I am all out of Speedy Sponsor stickers. So, Scott Warner, if you're listening, I gave away my last Speedy Sponsor sticker. So, there you go. You at least get a sticker and a pizza. So, I got to choose first, don't I? Put your answer in the comments. Just put a number in the comments of the Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Or if you're listening on Spotify, you can put your comment or put your answer in the comments on the Spotify thing as well. And that will be counted. So if you're not listening to us live, you still can get entered. Or you can just, if you're not listening to us on Spotify, go find our Facebook or YouTube thing and put the comment in there. And you'll be entered to win that free pizza. And yes, I am stalling, looking for numbers. Brian Hammer, I'm not sure he has any clue. Those seem high numbers, though. Dean seems to be the closest. I don't even know how many are starting, but typically, they're mid-20s with the number of cars they have? 20. Everybody's guessing. I have to go with Dean on this one. I'm going 18.
Oh, I'm going 19.
All right. It is a long track, so it is hard to go a lap down.
They're going to play nice.
It is hard to go a lap down, so maybe I am wrong with that thing. Wow, John Young, Jamie's.
Ooh.
I don't think those are right, but I could be wrong. They could have a big wreck, and it wrecks half the field. I don't know. So there you go. We'll give you until when?
Ooh.
9? Ron Burt says 9. When's that race coming up? That's going to be at noon on Sunday. So we'll give you until, that's at noon on Sunday. So let's give them until noon.
Yeah.
Noon on Sunday, noon Eastern on Sunday. If that's when the cutoff is to put your guess in. If you already put your guess in, you're good. And if you change your guess, once you put it in, you are black flagged and you will not be counted. So there you go. How many cars finishing on the lead lap of the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, the IndyCar race on Sunday, their season opener. So, and I've seen, just for references, anywhere from 9 to 23 seems to be 31. I don't know that there's 31 cars starting, but okay. We'll go with that. Let's check out our weekend race menu of events coming up this weekend.
This weekend's racing menu.
Not much going on in Australia this weekend. Is the season starting to wind down there?
It is.
As we hopefully get things winding up here. Albany Speedway in action on Saturday with the Modified South Coast Classic featuring modified speed cars and juniors. And that's all I got for Australia action for this week. Or weekend, I should say. Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the Winter Nationals at Ocala Speedway. That continues tonight through Saturday, February 28th. That's right, this Saturday is the last day of February. And then Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series goes over to Golden Isles Speedway in Georgia. That starts Wednesday of next week. And that goes through that following Saturday, March 4th through the 7th. World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Series. They're going to be at the Bike Week Jamboree at Volusia Speedway Park.
Ooh.
That's taking place.
Big deal at Daytona.
Sunday. That actually starts on Sunday and Monday, March 1st and 2nd. NASCAR Crash and Truck Series in action on Saturday. That's going to be at noon. The Only Bulls Green Flag 150. That's part of the St. Petersburg deal. They're racing, I guess, on the road course there in St. Petersburg, supporting the IndyCar Series. That'll be on FS1, again, at noon on Saturday. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, Focused Health 250 at Circuit of the Americas. That's later on Saturday, starting at 3 p.m. on the CW. Then we have the Firestone Indy Next Series, the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg for them. That's going to be at 10 a.m. on FS1. You could be watching racing all day on Sunday now, starting at 10 a.m. with that, because then you got the NTT IndyCar Series Firestone Grand Prix St. Petersburg starting at noon. That'll be on Fox. And then you got the NASCAR Cup Series Duramax Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas starting at 3:30 on Fox.
Don't even have to change channels a whole lot.
No, you could. So from 10 o'clock until whenever the Circuit of the Americas race for the Cup Series ends, if it starts at 3:30, what?
Probably 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, yeah. So that's a full day of racing for you right there. And then looking ahead to next week, the ARCA Menard Series, General Tire 150 at Phoenix Raceway. That'll be Thursday evening, starting at 5:30 p.m.
Ooh.
That'll be on FS1. That's 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. So out there, what is it, like 3:30, 2:30? Yeah. That's going to be an afternoon race on a Thursday out there for the ARCA Menard Series.
On a Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag DCR, if you haven't done that, you're just about SOL, because we are going to do a draw for tonight's winner for the Hammer Down Racing Report sticker again, slap one of these guys on your car. Get one from DCR Graphics if you don't win one, and share a picture of it on your car, on your 2026 ride, and you'll be part of the Hammer Down Army. It's just that easy. So, I think I stalled enough here. Ron, when's a good time to come to the house? He's out there from what, 10 to 5-ish, 10 to 4:30?
Yeah, in the shop.
During the week. Or give him a call. That's usually what I do. All right, let's draw for our Hammer Down Racing Report sticker and get on out of here. Share screen, that's what I want. I always forget. I can't be producer and host at the same time. It's too difficult. So here we go. For the winner, you got a 1 in 6 chance, or for the Hammer Down Racing Report sticker, 1 in 6 chance tonight. It is going to be James David. Gets, I think he's won one of these before.
Yeah.
So congratulations, James David. You have one of the last 3 Hammer Down Racing Report stickers that I have left here to give away. So you got 30 days to pick that up from Ron Miller Race Cars. And congratulations to you. And get that out of there. How did we end up tiny? I mean, we're not on everybody's, only on our screen we're super tiny. Now we're normal. So,
Attica Raceway Park opens in a couple of weeks, Scott.
Couple weeks, yeah. We'll have to.
March 13th, I think.
So I think a couple weeks from tonight, I'm going to try and get Justin Lisky back on.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the upcoming
all
season.
All the exciting things going on there.
Yeah. John wants to know when we will get the new design stickers in. Probably after I give away the last 2 of the of these stickers. So talking about the updated logo. That's we'll let you know. So stay tuned on that. But yeah, looking forward to Attica. Like you said, 2 weeks racing starting in Northwest Ohio. Friday the 13th.
Oh, buddy. What could possibly go wrong?
Not a darn thing.
Bunch of racers that have been off all winter on Friday the 13th.
So we'll have, I'm not sure what we got going on next week, but definitely try and get somebody from Attica on the following week. Definitely will. Either Justin, maybe Brian. One of the boars. I don't know. We'll see. Thanks to producer Dave Kramer, and contributors John Young, Bob Stazak. Like us on Facebook, follow us on X at Hammer Report, follow us on YouTube, listen to us on any of your favorite podcasts, even on your least favorite podcasting platforms. You don't like it, you listen to us anyways. It doesn't matter which platform you listen to us on, as long as you listen. Comment, whatever, review us, share us with your friends. It helps us out. We appreciate that. And check out hammerdownracingreport.com. That's got pretty much all the anything you need is on there. You can listen to us. You can get information on where to listen to us.
Swag?
Yeah, I think there is a link to the swag. So I haven't checked that out in a while, but I think DCRgraphics.com also has Hammer Down Racing Report shirts too.
Right.
So, thanks to our sponsors, Oakshade Raceway, Ron Miller Race Cars, Magic Moment Entertainment, Dippin' Motorsports, Dominator Race Products, and DCR Graphics. And thanks again to our guest this week, Dave Kramer, the new Bremen Speedway guy. All that history there, very cool stuff. If you tuned in late, definitely go back and check out all the great photos he had. And that was just a small sample. I had like 13 emails with a ton of pictures attached to each one, so we couldn't get to all of them. But yeah, so that's going to do it. We'll see you next Thursday at 7 o'clock. That is a wrap on show number 416 of the Hammer Down Racing Report.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report, available on demand on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting platform.